everybody, welcome back to Millennial Planter. I am Marina, and today we are going to talk about Peperomia propagation because I have a lot of propagations going and I figured it'd be cool. I shared some information on Instagram, like some pictures of propagations that I had going on, and a lot of people were shocked about how easy it is to propagate Peperomia, and just, I don't know, it's fun. So let's just get into it. And a little disclaimer, this is everything that I have learned in my experience. This is, like, take my advice with a grain of salt. I am not the end all be all of Peperomia propagation. I am just a hobbyist. So here we have a few different types of Peperomias. We have a couple ripple. This is the frost, the ripple frost, or Peperomia caperata. We have a red marbled, I think this is called. It has some really nice pink variegation here. Have a Peperomia caperata pink lady, which is white and pink and some green. This one is really pretty, and I just realized that it's kind of burnt here on the edge, if you could see that. So I have it too close to the light, and this is a fairly white leaf, so I'm just gonna have to move it back. And for the trailing Peperomias, which are actually my favorite, I have this string of turtles, which is so cute and so tiny. And then I have Peperomia ruby cascade, which is one of my favorites. Definitely an underrated plant, as I feel most Peperomias are. They're kind of getting their hype right now, kind of getting a little bit of a spotlight, but they're definitely a hit or miss with people. They have really fine roots, so it's really hot. It's really easy for people to overwater them. Definitely tend to go on the side of underwatering if you have a Peperomia and you're struggling with it. And I will put out a care video too of what has helped me, so keep your eye out for that. So the fun part about these guys is that you literally can just take a stem off and propagate them from stem. If I take this frost here and I cut the stem, I literally just have a stem and a leaf, and I could just put this in water and it'll start producing babies, like in these little jars here. And here you can see the roots, and it's even starting to pop out babies, which is really cool. To be honest, I could probably pot these in the soil now, and I probably will. Their roots are quite extensive and they have a good amount of babies on them. But putting them in soil is always the trickiest part because the babies are just so intertwined with the roots. So you really just got to do your best to separate the roots from the little babies and stick as much of it in the soil as you can. And once you put the babies in the soil, you want to keep the water really moist. Obviously not sopping wet, but moist, so that it doesn't dry out, because they've been in water for a very long time. These have been in water for probably about close to 3 months. In my experience, these take about 6 to 8 weeks, closer to 8 weeks, to actually start forming little babies, and probably about 6 weeks to forming roots. So it is a little bit of time to get there, but it's really easy. Like I said, I just took this stem here and I gave it a lot of bright light. So it was literally on my windowsill. Lots of bright light, change the water out once a week, and they'll start poking out roots. And before you know it, they'll have a lot of little babies. And the cool thing about this is that I was trying to mess around with the variegation to see if the pink and the white in these pink lady and red marble will come through, and so far I am seeing a little bit of variegation. I think the variegation on Peperomias is more on the stable side. To be honest, I haven't really done much research on that, So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's pretty stable, and like I said, in this one here, I have the littlest tiny bit of variegation popping through on a baby, which is really nice. Is that they also propagate from leaf cuttings, so you don't even need a full stem. And I have done that with my string of turtles, and as you can see here, I have the tiniest little bit of string of turtles coming through, and if you look at this video, you could see one string of turtle leaf with the littlest growth on the top, and that is the leaf that I propagated, and in turn it grew a stem and shot out 2 new stems, which is really cool. It was really nice to see. So in total it created 3 different vines from 1 leaf. So now it's in soil and it's still doing really great. I've been misting it and keeping it fairly moist, and so far so good. The only thing that I've struggled with is the ruby cascade as far as propagation. I haven't been able to successfully take a leaf and propagate it. I have been able to propagate it from nodes, and that is just like a regular viney plant. So I took a string that was a few inches long, cut it, propped it in water, and eventually it did create roots. This, however, is definitely one of my slowest propagators. Out of all the peperomias I tried, this one just took forever to grow roots, and then when it finally did, it was still taking forever to grow roots, to grow more roots. It was definitely interesting and kind of annoying because I'm really eager to get a fuller pot of these ruby cascades. So back to the ripples. As you can see, I have these little babies here, and eventually they will start to grow and look more like this, put out more babies and become more compact, and then you'll be able to cut the mother off and they'll just be their own little thing. And you could even see when you buy ripples from stores, you could see how they kind of do the same thing, because this is just a whole bunch of mother plants and their babies in here, because there's a whole bunch of new growth in the middle, and there's a lots of longer stems, which I'm assuming are the mom here on the side. So occasionally I will pop them off to propagate, just so I could have everything kind of like at the same level and create a more, I guess, aesthetically pleasing ripple, if that makes any sense. And as far as sphagnum moss goes, I haven't tried propagating peperomias in there. To be honest, I'm still kind of new at sphagnum and I don't really trust it all that much. My thing is, I'd be more paranoid that the stems will rot off, because the stems on peperomias are very thin and can rot really easily. But I don't know, if you have tried that out, definitely let me know. It'll be something cool to experiment with. Soil propagation will probably be the easiest, just because you don't have to worry about the transplant from water into soil, and you don't have to worry about getting the roots and the babies mixed up. I mean, literally just pop it into soil and the babies will start shooting out in about 12 weeks time, give or take. And yeah, I think that'll be really easy, but I've said it before, my favorite way of propagating is in water, just because I can see everything that's happening. And another thing also I've noticed with the stems kind of look like they die off for a little bit. I've noticed sometimes my stems, the tips of them will get a little black, but it's fine. They've all grown roots even with them kind of looking limp and black, so as long as the whole stem isn't black and it's just a little bit, don't give up on it. Just put it in lots of bright light and give it time. It'll do its thing. Not the fastest growers, but it's definitely fun. That's pretty much it. That's all I have to share. All my tips and tidbit about peperomia propagations. I hope you all have enjoyed this. I hope you all learned something. Definitely let me know in the comments if you've tried it and what has worked for you, or if you have any questions, I might be able to help you out a little bit. I hope you all just give this video a thumbs up. I hope you all are staying safe and sane and healthy, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.